Hello, everyone. This is Own Wall Street from thetradersperspective.com. I'm taking a look at natural gas prices before you, and this is the hourly chart. I will go ahead and zoom out to the daily chart briefly just to give you an idea of what's happening. Um, on Sunday, I had, I believe, shown that this trend line here was serving as an upward trend line, and we had broken below. Um, Jumping back down to the 4 hour chart here, you can see that the break occurred here. My moving averages had indicated a sell signal back here. And after we had broken below the 50 period simple moving average here, denoted by the black line, price did not hold this trend line and we went down, and now we have tested 3.12. Spent some time down here for a few hours now, and as you can see, we did try to bounce from here back up to the 50 period simple moving average, and my indicators here, my two moving averages, did not indicate a bullish cross. And I did have this intersection here that I was taking note of, and as normal, when you have this cross, price does go back down. So we do have some selling pressure that has come in after this trend line break and retest. And the 50 period simple moving average is now serving as the resistance on the 4 hour time frame. Price did penetrate above this downtrend line briefly. Let me go ahead and go back down to the hourly chart that we started with. You can see here's the cross, here's the test, and it's on the 1 hour time frame. We're actually looking at the 200 period simple moving average acting as the resistance. So whatever time frame you're trading on, you either have the 50 or the 200 that you're looking at as the present resistance. So on the hourly chart, we can actually see here that price has in fact closed above a couple times, tested this 200 period moving average and been unable to penetrate, and has now rested back on my moving average here, and that price is at about 3.18. And if we get above this downtrend line here that we're under and above this 200 period simple moving average, then we would be looking at another test of about 3.23, 3.24. And if we break that, then we'd be heading in a nice direction. I do want to take note here that on the weekly chart, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you all right now. And you can see that this 200 period simple moving average has been a very big resistance slash, I like to refer to it as like a magnet, where when price gets above it, it's just immediately drawn back down to it and below it. And then we have the 50 period here. So we are kind of battling right now with this 200 period moving average right in here. And my moving averages do not indicate a buy signal yet, so that leads me to believe that we are still going to see some sideways consolidation, which could take us basically till Friday before we see any type of break to the upside or the downside. If we do fail to break out of this downtrend line here, we would be looking at another test of this support. So let me go back down to the lower time frames to give you an idea of what we're looking at. So here is the support on the 4 hour time frame, and here's our 200 period simple moving average. We could definitely see some continued chop along here, and then we'll have to see which direction the market chooses to take prices. Based on the weekly chart and seasonality, we would assume that we have the upside to our benefit. So short opportunities definitely present. We do have some buy opportunities coming up. I believe that we will probably see a little bit more downside into tomorrow's news release, and that's the inventory release. And should inventories not be as bad as we think, or that there's any chatter regarding exporting that gas, then we could see some upside. But either way, it's forecasted to be a pretty hot summer from what I've seen. Unless that changes, I still see that we could be heading to a higher level here. We just need to break out above here. Now, I want you to pay attention here that my moving averages are getting very close to crossing here on a positive, and we had that happen back here. So the fact that we're still holding 3.12 is good. We just need to see if the bulls can break to the upside. We are between the 50-period simple moving average as well as my moving averages here, so we could see some more chop, as I was mentioning on the lower time frame. On the hourly time frame, you can see here that we are able to kind of have some chop before we move higher. So between the 200 and the 50 on the hourly chart, and then on the 4-hour chart, we are looking at breaking above this 50-period simple moving average. That'll give way to 3.24, and then onwards to a test of 3.3, and maybe even a 3.33 depending upon how strong the market goes. So again, this is natural gas, and I'm expecting a little bit more chop, a little bit more downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a little bit of sideways action. If we break this downtrend line here, then the bulls will have regained control, especially if we get above this 50-period simple moving average, and then we'd be looking at 3.24. If we break 3.24 heading in the weekend, the next week should look even better, because then we would have closed above the 200-period simple moving average on the weekly chart, as I showed you earlier. So that would mean 3.24 would be about here, and anything stronger than that, we would be going to 3.33, and that would honestly be the highest close in the past few weeks that we've had. So again, seasonality on our side. I'm actually thinking that we see some more upside in the longer term, but in the short term, we could see some more sideways to upwards biased action. This is Own Wall Street from the tradersperspective.com. Natural gas futures. Thanks for watching.